Excellent. Hey everybody, Jason Shadrick here with PremierGuitar.com, and we have escaped the NAMM floor into a quiet room here, so we can get with Mike Doors from ToneWood amps.
Absolutely.
And to talk about this kind of new thing that you kind of heard on the intro, where it kind of adds some effects to your acoustic guitar, but we're not using any pedals or any traditional amps at all. So why don't you tell us a little bit about where these effects are coming from and kind of demonstrate what you have there on your guitar.
This is basically a little box of what I presume is wizards. I mean, I'm just a guitar player. I travel all over and I play with the Justin Hayward from the Moody Blues. And since I discovered this box, it's basically been on my guitar the whole time because it's changed my whole world. This box sticks magnetically to the back of the guitar. You just basically take the sound from the guitar's pickup. It goes into this magical little wizard box, which then, through vibrations, projects an effect, so reverb, delay, Leslie speaker, wah-wah, whatever, through the guitar's back.
Let's flip it over so they can read. No, flip the guitar over so they can read the words on the what's going on there. There we go.
Well, I'll cut in there. So this box basically has changed my life completely. I can't really play guitar without it. This is the ToneWood amp. I don't work for the company. I'm just a musician that's here just to talk honestly about how much I love the thing. I mean, you take the sound from the guitar's pickup, it sticks magnetically to the back of the guitar, and this box, through vibrations, sort of vibrates reverb and delay and all kinds of other effects, wah-wah, Leslie speaker, whatever, through the guitar's back and through the sound hole, which is crazy. If you can hear that guy there. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, when you hear it in a room like this, it just changes your world, really. I mean, this is the dry guitar, and suddenly you're playing in a canyon or something. And for an acoustic guitar player, that's the most inspiring thing. I guess the equivalent would be if you're an electric guitar player playing in the studio, we're doing a sick distorted solo, but you don't have any distortion on the guitar while you're tracking. It's uninspiring, it's very difficult. This for me is an inspiration box, and through the whole reverb setting, which is what I'm just using now, I basically wrote the majority of my next record just at home on the sofa, feeling like I was in a stadium or something. It's amazing. I guess you've got to think of it as a speaker without the cone, right? So there's no speaker on it, but the guitar's body acts as the cone. Yeah, through like wizardry and witchcraft. I don't really know how. It's wild, man. And I really, dude, if you're an acoustic guitar player, you got to check this out because it's changed the game completely.
So we heard on the intro there and some of the examples just the reverb. You had just reverb on. Let's go through maybe a couple other sounds to see what else it can do.
Well, we have a lot of different reverbs first of all, and for acoustic guitar, reverbs are For me personally, reverbs are the 90% of the joy of this unit. I use it for composition and for just general songwriting and practice as well. But we also have, if you see on this display here, I'll turn it so you can read it the correct way up. We have plate reverb there. We turn this dial to the next setting. We have delay. Okay, and each one of these knobs here control the parameters. So this middle knob controls things like the speed of the delay. You can click it in and have more parameters, how much feedback the delay has, how much reverb the delay has, so it's like a delay-reverb combo, so let's turn that up. And this last knob controls the gain and the volume and things of the overall unit. So it's incredibly customizable. Each effect has sort of maybe 3 or 4 different customizable parameters, including notch filters, EQ, and things like that. So you can hear how the delay sounds now. Okay, so I've just set it to delay totally randomly, and suddenly your guitar has delay and reverb. It's just so inspiring, and for composition, it's out of this world. Let's choose another effect randomly. I'll go to. We got a Leslie speaker vibe. Get a bit more kick on that. You can play up. Suddenly your guitar is going through a Leslie speaker. And this is crazy because it just comes from this little box. This sits on my guitar the whole time at home. Obviously I'll unplug my patch cable so it doesn't drain the battery of the pickup. It just sits like that, and it actually has a sensor in it, so if you leave it upright for too long without turning it off, it turns itself off. Right, so there's all these little tiny features. It's iDevice compatible. There's a little socket here that you can run into an iPad and play with MIDI out of it as well. It acts as a preamp. It acts as a great DI box. It's insane. really, the best way to just get this is to try one out. Go to a store that stocks it. ToneWood amp. Most stores around the world stock these things now because it's changed the game. As soon as you sit down with an acoustic guitar, you strum your first chord with, let's say, the whole reverb setting, which we'll go to now, setting number 1. You see I'm cycling through room, plate, hall. As soon as you play a single note like this, change the game. Nothing else exists like this. And again, I'm not a salesman. I don't work for ToneWood Amp. I'm just a musician. I don't get any cut of this or anything. But I feel so passionately about this product that I really want to share with you what it does. And like I said, it's changed the game completely.
Excellent. So what will be the pricing and availability on the ToneWood amp here, Mike?
Well, in the States, these things run for about $249, I think, dollars. There's various little sales and promo. They started on Kickstarter, actually, and they started in batches. It's all handmade in the US, made in Phoenix by Helene and Ofer Webman. Ofer's the guy that designed it. And people are really getting turned onto this. Even George Benson is using this now. You know, crazy players are starting to realize that it just changes the game. Like I said, so 249 ToneWoodAmp.com would be the website for it. If you're watching this in another country, you know, check out your local store, see if they have it. I know there's distribution worldwide right now, and it's doing really, really well.
All right, Mike, thank you so much for showing us the ToneWood amp. So we're going to have you play us out with something. But first, this is Jason Chadwick with PremierGuitar.com.